What's up, bro? I hope you're doing well. Today, I want to talk to you about comparisons. And comparisons are pretty dangerous in the modern day. Let me talk to you about why that is. The first thing you have to consider is that when we were like in our caveman times, for example, like 30, 40,000 years ago, our tribes and groups never really consisted of more than 100, maybe 150 people. And that is what we were adjusted to still, like in our brain, okay? That is like the whole comparison spectrum that we had back then. We had like our tribe leader, we had like, I don't know, our uncle or dad, like maybe our grandpa right here next to the chief. That's how things worked back then. And you didn't have much room for comparison. You had your dad and you want to be like, ooh, like my dad is really cool. He's got a big he's got big boy muscles and he's killed 5 maners this year. And that is probably going to be your role model. You were probably going to be like your dad, pretty much. Maybe like your uncle a little bit more. Maybe you had like a fine thing for picking berries or something. I don't really know. But that is how the tribes worked. In that time, everybody had a role in the tribe, and there was no real use in comparing yourself to the people among you. Because at the end of the day, the main goal back then was survival. Okay, you weren't looking for the next luxury thing. Okay, you were only looking for the next day to survive. And there were other tribes that were constantly trying to kill you, your loved ones, and survival was basically the only option you had back then. Fast forward 30 to 40,000 years to, well, what is it, the 18th of June, and today this is a lot different. We're a very globalized world. I don't think I know I need to tell you about that. But the comparisons these days are a lot more frequent. You have comparisons on social media, on Instagram, on YouTube, on every single social media platform, and all over the internet. You can find them. You probably don't even need to search for more than 10 seconds. You open up Instagram and ooh, your newest creator has posted a new picture. Ooh, let's see what it is. Oh, damn, that's a fine body, damn. And then you start comparing yourself to that guy. He's like a really strong guy with a six pack and really like strong, dense muscles. And then you're there. You're probably still skinny fat, probably still in puberty, and I'm like, damn, bro, I'm not enough yet. And you start feeling like shit. This is especially promoted by a lot of social media platforms. TikTok and Instagram are especially bad at this because you simply just scroll and scroll, and the more clips you see, the higher the probability is getting that you are bound to compare yourself to something that goes on there. If you think about this logically, this whole thing doesn't really make sense that you should be comparing yourself to those people. Because the people you follow are likely going to be like that top 10, top 5, maybe even top 1% of what you are really seeking in them. For example, if you have like a really strong bodybuilder, like an Arnold Schwarzenegger back in the day in his prime, of course you're gonna feel like shit unless you're like equal in stature. But on social media, we are bound to compare ourselves to that top 1% and not to the other like 95% because that actually really likes to go under. The rest, like the really strong and good stuff, it's on the top and everybody sees that. Everything below is invisible basically to everyone. It's basically like the Tinder marketplace, if you know what I mean. And honestly, I've noticed doing the same thing on YouTube simply because there are a lot of like self-improvement creators that I like to watch and they are a lot more successful in terms of subscribers and money, and I really view them as inspirations. But when I look at some of the like channels and how much views every single video is getting, at the end of the day I just end up feeling bad because I'm not at that level just yet. And you want to know the most important part of that sentence? Just yet. Just yet. Same goes for you. If you keep comparing yourself to that, I don't know, that top 1% guy, sure, at the moment you're not at that level just yet. But if you keep giving it your best, if you keep staying consistent, if you put in the work every single day, you're going to get there. And I'm guaranteeing you that if you take the right steps and if you see like, hey, right now at the moment this is not working and I should do something else to get to that point, then go ahead, because that is exactly what you should be doing. And if you just never quit and do what it takes, then yeah, you will get there one day. And at the end of the day, you have two choices. You can make that choice to keep going, and yeah, it might feel like shit for a time, okay? It's probably going to, if you're a YouTuber, it's probably going to take like 500 videos to like actually get an audience that really enjoys your content and stays loyal to your channel. If you are, for example, somebody that's really into working out, it's going to take probably a year of working out to like see some decent results. And as long as you just keep putting in the work, you have nothing to lose. Because if you just quit, you'll live in the shame and regret of what could have been. And there's also no real advantage to comparing yourself to somebody that is far beyond your level. Because if you're worse than them, then just like me with YouTube, you're just going to end up feeling worse. Even if you're better than the person, that's not good either. Because at the end of the day, you are going to like have an inflated ego, like, oh, fuck yeah, I'm better than this guy. And then the other guy from the top comes along, and then you feel even more like shit because your ego is inflated. And when you give your ego power, you're falling a lot more and a lot faster. And yeah, with that said, I thank you very much for watching and see you soon. Make sure to subscribe.